Okay, Matrix. Today we are going to be doing some solid geometry. So you'll see here that I've drawn up a front view and aux views. These aux views appear difficult to get in, but I promise you can do it. It just comes with a little bit of practice. I'm going to quickly briefly go through how I actually got them in, so that you can obviously understand that. And then we are going to draw a sectional top view and the true shape. And just know that when we are doing solid geometry, we are using first orthographic projection, which means we have front, top, left, right. But today we are only drawing the front and top and then the true shape. Okay, so the first thing I did was I measured 10 and 10 from the bottom. I obviously got these angles by having a look at the question and seeing, oh, okay, measuring the angles like this over here. And then I made a line of 10 and a line of 10. And obviously you can't do this one without doing this one because you need the square shape. So all I did was I took this angle up, and then from here I measured the angle, the side length that they gave us at an angle of 45 degrees, which is obviously from that point there. Okay, so that's how I got my points in. Basically, just play around. It's a little brief explanation, but at the end of the day, it's something you have to figure out for yourself, because you're going to get so many different kinds of layouts in your drawings that at some point you're going to just need to know how to do them. Okay, so let's just get started. So here I said we've got the front view. So before we start, I think it would be in our best interest to label everything here. So here we have got, I'm going to label this T for the top of the pyramid. So we've got T for the top. Not this won't be T, T will be in the middle. Yeah, excuse me, but we don't need to worry about that. So we'll just call this part here A, B, C. So we have A, B, and C. And then for the square, what we will do is numbering. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll obviously have 1 and 1 on these sides here, 2 and 4 on the sides over here, and 3 and 3 on the sides over there. Okay, so now that you've got all of these points, what you're going to do is you're going to bring down all of these lines. I'm sure a lot of you will know the drill already, but in case you don't, we are going to bring all of them down. So we brought both 3 lines down. Now we're going to bring the 2 and 4 lines down, and the one line down, which also happens to be T and C, and then we'll bring down B, and we will bring down A as well, so that you've got this over here. Okay, it is important for you to show your construction so that obviously the person marking can see that you didn't copy this drawing. So yeah, get used to seeing your construction lines, and remember they need to be lighter than your drawing. Obviously I've got to draw them kind of dark so that you guys can see, but you guys need to make them as light as possible. My recommendation is to get 2 types of pencils. You can get one with a darker lead and thicker lines, and then a second one with lighter lead and thinner lines. So here's 0.3 and this is 0.5. Okay, this is HB and this is H. So it obviously has a different thickness and weight and everything like that. But if you're lazy like me, or if you just don't have the money for both pencils, that's also fine. What I learned to do in high school is to use one pencil, and I learned to control my line weights. So I learned how to draw dark on the one and then incredibly light on the other one, so that you could obviously not tell that they were the same pencil. And that's also okay. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so now that we've got these lines down, we obviously want to get our viewpoints in. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to grab the necessary measurements to get our drawing started. So before we even get started, from our auxiliary view, we are going to take a line to touch the shapes. So you see here, 1 touches there, 2 touches there, 3 touches there, and then I've already got that with my triangle, so I'm not going to worry about that. And now we're going to basically get our points. So from here you're going to get 0.3, which I've got over here, and then you're going to put it on your line over here, your middle line here, and you will have your point of 3. Okay, so there we've got 3. Obviously it will be the same on this line over here. We'll have point 3 as well, and then 3 and 1 will be the same. So where you have a point 1, you're just going to use the same points. Okay, so all the same measurements. So there we've got 1, and then we've got 1 as well. Now we are going to grab 2 and 4. So let's start with 2. So you're going to grab your measurements of 2, and then you're going to go to a 2 line from the middle line here, because you see we've got 2 spaces. So on this line here, I'm going to label it XY. You will grab measurements. So here we've got 2, and then from here we will have 2 as well. And so we are going to make those points visible. So we will have 2 and 2. Okay, and then 4 we will grab from the edge to 4 over here, which will be ending right on the lines over here. So I am going to just write 4. It's not always the case, so always check your measurements, but I know where it's ending, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab the pyramid. So now we're going to need to grab all of the rest of the points. So to get to point, how did I get that so backwards? This is supposed to be A, that is C, and this will be B. Okay, my apologies for that. Okay, so we're going to start by grabbing point A, and we're going to go to the edge, grab point A, then we're going to go to the line from the XY, we're going to grab point A, just like that. And then B and C will be on the line over here. Well, C will be, oh, this one's difficult. It's not difficult, but I mean it's, there's a different way to do it. So just scratch what I've done there. It's not difficult. It's tricky. Now I can't find my razor, so let me just have a look. Okay, there it is. Okay, so let me explain to you why I say that, because it's definitely different in the sense that it can throw you off, just like it's done with me, which is so silly because I knew it was coming as well. Okay, so we've got our lines here. So we know that this is line 1 as well as line C, right? And line C and B are in the same like line. So from here we're going to get our measurement of B. So do you see we brought it straight across, because obviously this is angled, right? So it's going to be a little bit different on how we put it down here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our A measurements from BC. So you're going to go straight on the BC line. You're going to get your measurements of A. And then, sorry, let's just make a line here. Make sure yours is done using your ruler. And then that will be point A. Okay. So that was actually not difficult, but it is tricky because you have to be able to see what's going to happen. Okay, actually I just want to see if you guys can actually see the lighting here, because it's quite dim lately. Okay, looks like you can see it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, before we draw anything solid, what I want you to do is imagine that you are a little man standing at the top of this here looking down. Actually, make your man standing here, right? A little bit more realistic. And he's looking down on this shape. So what is he going to see? So we know that he is going to see, let me just get a highlighter so I can explain it really nicely. We know that he is going to see this side of our prism. Okay, this entire side over here, which will be 1, 2, 4, and 3. So now we're going to find these specific ones. So like 1 over here. Okay, 4 over there. 3 over here. Do not draw this in solid just yet, because remember we are cutting it. 2 and then 3, right? Okay, Now, before we do anything else, we know that this is 1 and t, okay? Meaning our triangle shares a spot with this one here. So now that you've got that in mind, you know that or that we can see that this man is going to see TB, which will go straight over C because he's looking at the side, so he's actually seeing line B. He will see BA, okay, over there, but he won't see AC, but he will see AT. Okay, so I'm hoping I'm making a bit of sense there. And then this will obviously be a dash line because he's not going to see this over here. Now, another thing I'm going to recommend, because I can only explain it by showing the man on the top view. But if you really struggle with things like this, my recommendation would be to take paper or even cardboard and to build a model while you are studying, and to kind of hold up your model and see how things will work so that you can understand it better. It's the only way I can describe it to you, or give you advice to do this to make it easier for yourself. Obviously, you can't do that in an exam, but it will help you to visualize things a bit better. So make that, I know it's extra work and nobody likes to do extra work, but if you really want to get a good EGD mark, make a model. I promise you it will pay off if you struggle to visualize these things, okay? And then obviously we know he is seeing part of these, part of the prism first, so we're going to see 4, 4, 2, 2, and he's definitely seeing the triangle over these measurements. So 4 and 1, and then we won't see this one here, we'll see up to there, and then it will be dash, 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 and then, oh sorry, there we go, 3, you will not see these ones underneath over here. Okay. I wish I could actually explain it to you a little bit better, but for now this is gonna have to do. So maybe what I'll do is in the next video I'll make a model. So if you would like me to do that, comment it down below so that I don't forget to do it. And then the next solid geometry, I'll do that for you guys. Okay, so now that we've got our stuff over here, we want to cut it before we draw it in solid. So this all should be like construction lines for now, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look, see. So you see here we've got cutting plane AA, which I will just highlight and make a little bit more visible if you guys can't see it. So let me just got A and then A over there, and then we've got the line going through over there. Okay, so now we're going to get started. Okay, so if you have a look here, between 2, 3 and 3, 4, we've got a cut. So here, between 3, 4 and 2, 3, we've got a cut, and we can make this line here solid. And the reason why is because the knife is going to cut there. Okay, so we're going to make that solid for now. Then we've got 2, 2 and 4, 4. So if you look here, we've got 2, 2 and 4, 4. So you're going to make a cut line on 4, 4 as well as on 2 and 2 right over there. Okay, then we're going to go down to here where we've got 1, 1. Where is our 1, 1 line? Okay, it's here. Okay, 1, 1, which is also TC. So we'll have a cut right over there. And then we go down and we've got a cut by TA. And obviously we know TA is over there. And then we've got a last cut at TB, which will be over there. Okay, so we've got all of our points. So let me just again go over it with a highlight on where all of our points were. So we've got a point there, point there, point there, 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 and there. Okay, now we're going to connect our points. So I already made that line solid, and then this line here will become solid. Okay, and then this line over here will become solid, and this line over here will become solid as well. as well as this point over here. Now the reason why these points don't connect here is because remember we are cutting two different shapes, okay? So you need to keep that in mind while you're doing this here so that you don't get confused about any of this. So let's carry on. Now this point will obviously connect to this point over here and to this point over here. Okay, and then we've got these 2 points that will connect as well. So now we have to imagine what's not going to get cut, right? So we know that the knife doesn't touch this part here, which is this part here. So we know this part here does not get cut at all, okay? So I want you to kind of imagine that you've got a knife going through here. What is it actually cutting out? All right, so that's what you've got to think about. Okay, so there we go. We've got a point over there. It's going to it is going to cut these little bits off here, right? So that means you will not see these bits here, but you will obviously see part of the side that's not going to disappear. So from that orange point to 4, we can make a point, and we can make a point from here to the edge of our pyramid over here, okay? And then obviously we'll see this one as well, but we know the point of the triangle here is getting cut off, so we're not going to see the point of the triangle here, which means that we will see this here, and we will see this point touching here. Okay, just like that over there. Then we've got our triangle, which obviously we will see the bottom of it because the top's getting cut off, so this part here is getting cut off along with that part there, and then what we see at the bottom is what's left, right? So we'll see whatever's left here at the bottom. Okay, then you've obviously got your cut. Now remember, you do have to hatch your cut, so to just quickly show you how I do it, you always do it in 45 degrees. So I'm going to take my 45-degree set square here, and basically what I do is I like to line up these lines here, as you can see. So we've got these lined up over here, and then in intervals of 5, I like to hatch just like this over here, as you can see. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do it off camera and in pink highlighter so that you can see what the cut section looks like and what every other section looks like. And then we're going to move on to the true shape of this drawing. Okay, so you see I've highlighted it now in pink so that you can see better, and that's what our cut section is. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get our true shape, which a lot of people find challenging, but I promise you it's actually quite easy. I don't think you'll struggle with it too much. So let's just get started on it. Okay, there are actually 2 ways to do it. I'm going to try the first way first, but I don't think I've left enough space for me to do it here, so I might have to do the other way. But even if I can't do it, I'll do part of it so that you can see. Maybe that's actually a good idea. I'll do part of it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find like the lowest point here. So obviously we know this is our lowest point, so you're going to bring that line across, and then from that point you're going to draw a vertical line up. Well, you're going to draw a vertical line, okay? And then once you've done that, every point of your cutting plane you're going to bring up, right? So you're going to have this point here, which you're going to bring up, okay? You're going to have this point here, which you're going to bring up as well. And then you're going to have this point here that you're going to bring up. And then you're going to have this point here as well that you're going to bring up. As you can see, it doesn't touch my page, so I'll do obviously the last little bits, and then I'm just going to ignore this point here, but you must not do that. Okay, as long as you guys understand what's going on, then that's fine. Okay, we'll bring that line across, this line across, this line across, and then obviously you guys will bring that line across over there, and then we're going to grab all of our points. So you're going to look here first. Actually, before we even do that, first what you're going to do is you're going to take all of the points that you cut and you're going to lightly bring them onto your XY line, right? So do you see how I'm just taking all of these points up to the XY line? These two share a line, so it's fine. And these two also share a line. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to go onto that XY line with your compass, and then you're going to grab that point. So like here, we've got this point now. So what you're going to do is on that point where it touches the vertical line, you're going to make a mark, right? So there's our 1 point. Now we're going to move on to grab this point here. So you're going to grab it, take it to the point that it belongs on, or the line that it belongs on, you're going to make a mark. Then you're going to do the same with this point over here. Okay, you're going to take that point onto its line over there, and then you're going to grab the last 4 points. So obviously I'm going to grab these two, and then I'm not going to do the other two, but you guys will obviously do that. So there you'll grab the points over there. Obviously make sure if you've got anything in the way, that's not necessary to erase it. And then this point here, which will be right on the edge sort of. There we go. And then obviously you would do the same, and you would grab these 2 points as well, but I'm obviously not going to grab these two. And then all you're going to do is you're going to connect your points together sort of in the same shape as your shape here. So here you connect that to there. This one would go here, and then you obviously have the two that would be at the top, so you would have a sort of shape like that if you wanna, with the line at the top. And then all you're going to do is you're again going to hatch it in 45 degrees, not freehand. I'm just doing it freehand so that you can see what it would kind of look like. Okay, and then that would be your drawing complete. So I hope this kind of helped you guys. Well, I hoped it helped you guys, but if it's not quite what you guys need help with, let me know what you do need help with, and I'll make a plan for you guys. And let me know if you need me to make a model in the future so that I can do that for you guys as well. Okay, so I hope this helped you a little bit.